Hello and welcome back to this painfully average commentary. My name is DoubleV and I am playing, I was about to say we are playing, but I guess you could say that. We are playing Battle for Middle-earth, the old strategy game from 2004. And we're joining the Fellowship when they are arriving to Lothlorien. But it's a bit different from the movie, as you will see. Also, something amusing here is that since Gandalf survived the battle with the Balrog, and again I'm unsure if he even can die from it, or die, but you know, fall down the hole, as it were. But yeah, here he is all of a sudden Gandalf the White. So I guess I don't know how to interpret that. Did he level up as a wizard from defeating the Balrog? I guess he did. So yeah, he is with us, and that's quite handy. And we are fleeing to Lothlorien, and the elves are... I quite like this in a way, because we're being followed more actively by the Moria orcs, and the Lothlorien elves are having to help us more than how it was in the movie, as you might remember that the Fellowship didn't get exactly a warm welcome when they arrived. But here the elves are quite chummy, and they help us out. So, just as a general disclaimer, I performed terribly this level, and I do mean terribly, but it's mainly, I'd like to defend myself by saying that I didn't remember this level correctly. I thought there would be simultaneous attacks from each bridge, and maybe I remember that from the hard difficulty or something. But what I basically ended up doing here in the start was trying to group my heroes up along with some units at each bridge, because you have about I think there's 3 bridges in, yeah, as the map shows there, and I basically tried to even it out, and it took me a good while before I realized that, oh, okay, there won't be simultaneous attacks. You know, because I guess I was used to, for example, in StarCraft, there's quite a few levels like that, or in Warcraft or whatever, so I just assumed my RTS instincts told me that, okay, there will be simultaneous attacks. But no! As you will notice, there's quite a lot of treasure hidden around Lothlorien here, so I think I got Mary here to basically be a treasure hunter and go around collecting gold. And, well, this mission introduces us to unit training, really. Or, well, actually we did unit training with Rohan last time, but it's very basic unit training with the elves anyway. You're getting to build archers. The cool thing about these archers is that they can also be used as melee infantry, so it's basically just you just switch them around, so they're very versatile like that. And you will notice that I'm being really screwed here at the northern bridge, so it's a bit worrying.
Their stench of evil must end here. Stop.
The enemy is upon us, man!
Protect Middle-earth.
Hold your ground! Come!
And yeah, here I thought that attack would do some like AoE damage or something with Gandalf. It's the same one that I used while battling the Balrog in the last episode, but no, it didn't really do that. So again, apologies, but you know. So yeah, given that I kind of did this hardcore mode, it ended up being quite a difficult level, or at least I was kept really busy. And here they even have cave trolls coming, 3 of them, and the cave trolls are quite powerful, especially when stacked up, so they're not to be underestimated. And even Gandalf is finding some trouble here.
The enemy is upon us, men!
But thankfully the heroes are really tearing it up here, so there's no problem.
This way!
We will help protect the woods. We must protect the woods.
They may sing of this day.
Come on!
We're under attack!
Keep moving!
The enemy is upon us! Follow me! Follow me! Hearken to me! We must act quickly!
So yeah, these are the same elves that will later be used for when we eventually get to Helm's Deep.
The enemy breached the northwest perimeter. Send reinforcements now.
Cannot falter!
Goblins approach the northwest bridge. Assemble your troops and prepare for the assault.
We cannot falter! Go now!
I'm noticing that there's not a whole lot of excitement going on here in between the attacks.
Have your weapons ready, elves.
It's a bit of a strange level, as I said, because it doesn't really happen in the movie. What does happen in the books is, of course, that the Lothlorien elves are a lot more under pressure, so to say, during the War of the Ring, basically. Oh, that's a bit unfair. The cave trolls hit my elves right as they came out of the barracks. And yeah, here I misheard. I thought they said northeast bridge, but it was the same bridge as they came from the last time. Because I would assume that, okay, well, they'll switch it around a bit, their attacks, to make me a bit more active in how I position my troops and whatever. But no, they just used the same bridge, so that was a bit of a surprise. Fortunately, I have quite a lot of archers up and everything, so there's no problem. Aragorn's Athelos ability comes in handy a lot for me during this level.
Have your weapons ready, elves.
Something I forgot to mention last time, by the way, I spoke briefly about how it was EA Los Angeles who developed this game, and but I forgot to mention that they also made some other games. They made, for example, some Jurassic Park games, Medal of Honor for the main consoles at the time, and they also made some Command and Conquer games, so they were quite experienced with strategy games.
Goblins approach the west bridge. Assemble your troops and prepare for the assault.
At least here I heard that they were coming from the western bridge.
It's so heavy.
We must protect the woods.
We'd better do something. This way.
That must be the enemy.
Ready, elves.
I do like this. I'm a lot for positioning of archers in strategy games. I always love having like different lines of archers and just seeing those waves of arrows go off as the enemies approach. That's something I really like. Even though I have to say I'm slightly disappointed because the Lothlorien archers aren't all that powerful, to be honest. They, with upgrades of course it's gonna be different, but for the moment it's not like all their waves of arrows are doing all that much. It's mainly the heroes doing the damage here, I think.
We must counter this evil.
Legolas has quite a cool ability that I think I I didn't really use that much this level. He basically, when he is with other archers, he has this train archers ability, which is pretty handy. It basically gives experience and just makes your archers better.
Elven warriors.
Ah yeah, and here I noticed that there's a mission to destroy all of these lumber mills. It's a bonus mission, so you don't need to do it, but it's obviously good. So yeah, I sent some troops to deal with that.
The trolls and goblins are planning one final attack.
Act quickly.
Alright, so now they warn for the final attack.
Us hobbits must stick together.
Follow me!
Settle. Watch your footing. We will be hidden here. Watch your footing. There! Shoot that one!
The enemy.
Oh, those trolls are doing some hefty... Ow! Trolls are quite nasty. They usually have some tree chunk or rocks that they throw or something that makes them even nastier than otherwise. But hey, I do have Gandalf and his big blow them all away attack, so I'm fine. And yeah, here I kind of decided, hey, I'll make Boromir kind of a captain of these elves to destroy the lumber camps if I have the time.
You shall find that my size matters not.
Stay focused, elves.
But alas, I completed the level before I could destroy the lumber camps. But oh well, I'm sure the Lothlorien elves will handle that themselves.
Lothlorien has been spared.
So yes, the Fellowship managed another day. Legolas and Gandalf keeps tearing it up here with the enemy kills.
The innocent people of Rohan must be defended.
Well, Gandalf says innocent people of Rohan. While I would agree, there's still... I don't know, there's another side to the story, of course. It's the wildmen who were driven from their lands, technically, by the Rohan people. But hey,
to the defense of Rohan. It must be protected.
so we're back to having Éomer again, and basically his little... Well, it's a growing force, but it's still quite small compared to Isengard forces. And as you might remember, I had to save some peasants last time, so they are technically under my command, which is... Well, I guess it's okay, but they're taking up population cap, which I could have, of course, have used for other riders. But they'll be good enough as base defense for now.
Follow my lead. I think that's the enemy there. The enemy is near.
Ooh, my flag bearer died instantly. That's not good.
Reclaim this land for the king.
And yeah, the bonus here being to build 6 farms. Classic RTS early stages.
We must defend our country. Prepare for battle. Set forth, wretched creatures.
Ooh, hadn't noticed that. But hey, at least the whole population cap problem is kind of being automatically solved now. Oh, that is satisfying. Just plowing through the Uruk-hai. if I'm to be nitpicky, I could be... I mean, if you go by the film, it seems that the first time that the Rohan soldiers encounter Saruman forces are, well, the Battle of the Isen, where Theodred is Theoden's son, where he loses the Battle of the Isen, and later, which is shown in the movie also, at least the extended version, Eomer finds him alive, but barely. And someone there comments like, Mordor will pay for this or something. And Eomer replies that these orcs are not from Mordor, they are from, you know, and then he kicks an orc over and displays the mark of the white hand, which is of course Saruman's corporate logo, basically. And you would kind of wonder, wouldn't the Rohan people know by now that Saruman is kind of up to no good? I don't know. I guess they maybe just see them as orcs, but you would also think that Uruk-hai would be kind of different from how regular orcs would be. Oh, and I kind of found the enemy base here. Ooh. And I really don't like when my cavalry gets those waves of arrows, because those Uruk-hai crossbowmen are really nasty, actually.
Use whatever weapons you can muster.
And they're following me. Great. I recently got this ability in the sort of powers or talent tree or whatever you might call it, that allows for fallen units to gradually come back with time, so that's very useful. And here I'm doing some useless tactic where I'm trying to like kite the enemy units in favor of my archer tower there, but while the archer tower is quite decent, it's not that good. And yeah, this is proving to be quite an expensive cavalry charge, but hey, as long as they die. But yeah, it's basically from being like Eomer and, you know, a band of Rohirrim warriors, it's basically down to Eomer and a few friends to defend Rohan. But we're about to change that. As you might have noticed there in the building section of the stables, I can now also build the Rohirrim archers, which is pretty cool. Basically horse-bound archers, which is really cool.
Follow my lead. Away. We ride.
You might think that doing that whole, you know, because it's basically the only real attack that the Rohirrim has, the like just charge them attack. You would think that that would get monotonous, and it kind of does, but at the same time it's very satisfying. I've always loved in strategy games to ride over units. It's just that feeling of force just coming towards another group of unmounted characters. Of course, it's not as fun if the enemy has spears, as we will experience later on. And now you can also buy upgrades for your units, which is kind of... it works a bit different than the classic RTS approach, because basically you have to buy the upgrade first from the stables, and then you have to purchase it unit by unit, so to say. So just because you purchase the armor upgrade only allows you the sort of copyright, if you want to call it that, to the upgrade, whereas if you want it for your units, you're just gonna have to upgrade it one by one, kind of.
Rohirrim! Rohan must stand!
What I am glad about, though, is that they didn't really make this game into one of those... It's not so much about resources in this game. I mean, yeah, you build your farms and you do that sort of stuff, but it's not that big of a part. I wouldn't have liked if they made it into one of those, like, hey, chop woods and get iron strategy games, because I just think that that would be a very poor fit for Lord of the Rings somehow.
Go with haste! Set forth! Keep your spirits high! Rohirrim!
We are here to protect our
Go
land.
with haste! Follow my lead! Reclaim this land for the king!
Stay sharp. Press on.
And there we have some Rohirrim archers.
A darkness covers our lands.
Be on guard. There they are. Stay sharp.
To lord and land! Away!
Die! Make way! Come, people! Come, people!
Come together, my friends!
We're ready to ride out.
Hold your ranks! Rohirrim! Rally to me! Here!
So yeah, now I'm at one of those stages where it's like, okay, where's the enemy hiding? Because technically I've destroyed their base and everything. It's just that they're hiding somewhere. They have like some spare lumber camp or something. Or well, I didn't destroy their base actually. They're still up. But yeah, that's something that I do keep having in this game. That the enemy basically does what my main strategy in multiplayer RTS games is, that whenever I get destroyed by the enemy, I start trying to tire them out by just rebuilding my base all the time. Which is of course futile, but there's a chance that they might get annoyed and leave, which is of course this computer strategy for you to not play the game. But hey, we won, and well, we did. I think we ended up with about as many Rohirrim soldiers as we had when we started the level, so plus minus 0, which is, well, it's not bad news. But to be honest, these Rohan missions, they do get a bit dull in my opinion. Whereas they're nice and cool, and it's nice to get a feeling for what Rohan experienced more than just what we get to see in the films and everything. It's still, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe not as epic as I'd like to. It just feels like you're doing like mini things.
A fierce attack has been plotted to destroy the Fellowship.
And now we get to another Fellowship mission, which is, well, one of the last where you have these many heroes. It's the Amon Hen level. Basically the scenes in the movie where big Uruk leader Lyrtz is involved. He does make an appearance here too, and I believe he is a hero if you play the evil campaign.
By my life or death, I will protect you, Frodo.
So yeah, again here, a bit interesting, because in the film, and for that matter the book too, you would have Frodo and Aragorn up here, kind of meeting up before the orcs come. It's a very good scene in the movie at least. But here we also have Gandalf, because as you remember he did survive the Balrog battle, and for some reason Sam is also here. So I don't know. I'm not complaining, but it's just a bit funny, I guess.
Help! They're everywhere!
Watch out, Aragorn! They must be stopped!
There's too many!
We must protect Frodo!
Mr. Frodo, are you okay?
This level is kind of annoying because, you know, you can't really lose any heroes here, and it's quite easy to do that occasionally.
11, 12, 13.
I've got 20.
I love that attack by Gimli. It's I guess they were inspired by that attack from in the Two Towers when he does that jump in Helm's Deep with Aragorn, when Aragorn throws him.
We must be ready.
Oh, and here the camera went kind of apeshit or something. I couldn't really control it, but so I'm sorry if you got motion sickness there.
Go now!
Sting of my arrows.
Hurry!
Stay together!
You have no place in this world.
He just picked up all
And there were some
three.
hideout trolls, which is pretty cool.
Quicker now!
I did not think we would survive that.
Cut up, Terry!
Oh,
Grown far.
I don't know what happened to Frodo there. It almost looked like he just slipped or something.
This way! I shall wait.
So yeah, there's a lot of orcs here.
Mr. Frodo! No! Get back!
Set these foul beasts into the abyss!
What behind you, Gandalf? Stay back, you filthy orcs!
Something I also keep doing is to accidentally, when you select special attacks, you have to right-click where you want the attack to be, whereas I, for some reason, automatically seem to do it with left-click, so sometimes I just don't use my ability.
What was that?
Follow me!
And yeah, there's an ability that basically
We must hide!
doubles Gandalf's damage, which is pretty useful. It's pretty funny that it's a specific talent or so, but hey.
Can we stop them?
There are also some Morg riders here, which I guess is... I mean, that didn't really happen in the book, but again, I'm not really complaining, but... because, come to think of it, I'm not sure why they didn't just use Warg Riders from the start to hunt down the Fellowship, because as it is now, Saruman sends running orcs. Oh yeah, and here is Boromir trying to save the little hobbits. It doesn't really happen quite like this in the movie and book, because obviously the hobbits stay while Boromir keeps fighting. Yeah, and this was a bit confusing. I wanted to go down there, but apparently you can't go over the hill, you have to go around the hill. So I just kind of went for it here, because I want to save Boromir.
Keep moving.
As I did mention in the first episode, he is one of my favorite Lord of the Rings characters. He is, for some reason, highlighted here. I guess it's because for you to notice him, you can't really control him because he is unable to move outside of that red box, which is a bit amusing, but I guess it's just their way of saying that he is really in trouble here. And, well, he really is, as you can see. There's a lot of orcs here, and over there is Lurtz firing away at Boromir, probably piercing him with about 10 arrows by now. But hey, I'm doing it just like the movie and having Aragorn go over and tell him to stop politely. At least that's how I remember it happening in the movie.
Not much of a challenge. Return to your master.
Protect the little
Quicker
ones.
now.
Run! Quickly, run!
We must act quickly.
Hooray, Boromir is free again. So he did survive.
You carry the fates of us all, little one.
Quicker now. We must go.
An army of orcs blocks the way. If we defeat them, Frodo will have a chance.
Hey, this didn't happen in the movie either. When Lurtz was dead, it was all... There wasn't much left to do for them, but I guess they wanted some final thing here. Oh, and that's pretty good. Boromir just did the Horn of Gondor again and made all the double-bladed, I forget what they're called now, but those units with the red fancy swords anyway, they basically do quite a lot of damage. You will recognize them as those units that in the movie, when the ladders went up on Helm's Deep, they would be the first ones to climb the ladders and kind of just like lay waste to the enemy, or the elves. So yeah, I'm getting kind of my behind trampled here because there's a lot of stuff going on, and as you can see, Sam and Frodo are, you know, one more hit there and Frodo would have died, so I was really lucky there. And the other heroes aren't doing that well either, so I was a bit scared that I was gonna fail the level here.
Stay close.
But again, Aragorn saves the day and uses the Athelas thing. And the enemy almost seemed to die upon looking at them there. So yeah, something annoying here. I thought like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to continue. I didn't really pay attention to the map, but I thought I was supposed to continue along the beach here or something to maybe some final thing. But no, I had to go to the boat here, and that was pretty much it.
We have secured the
So yeah.
Burden, Mr. Frodo.
I mean, to me, they might as well have like given me the mission complete when I kill those last orcs, but yeah, whatever. Merry and Pippin are saying a prayer as they head off. No, I think it was meant that their hands would be bound, but it looked a bit strange with these graphics. So yeah, now we completed the mission and hooray, we saved Boromir, so we managed to be completely unfaithful to the both the book and the movie at the same time, which was of course the intention from the start. Anyway, join me next time as we continue our way battling as Rohan and the Fellowship heroes. Bye for now.